Hi JCS. This is the January 27th version of the Parents Press. I'm here in our elementary school's library. Last week I began to roll out a series of Parent Press videos regarding our financial system and its status. Last week we talked about the myth of our school having deep reserves. This week I want to talk on another myth that's floating around and has been for some time. If you know the story or the myth of Superman, you'll know that while he has superhuman abilities, his one weakness, besides Lois Lane, is kryptonite. In the myth, kryptonite debilitates Superman, reduces his strength, handicaps his ability, and eventually can even kill him. Well, did you know that we have a similar Superman kryptonite myth here at Jackson Christian? One of the myths that I often hear is this: our needs-based financial aid is causing the ruin of Jackson Christian School. Or it might be said something like this: because of financial aid, we are letting in poorer quality students, behavioral problems, etc. Well, just like the myth of Superman and kryptonite is not true, neither is it true that JCS is being destroyed by financial aid. Now, having said that, I don't want you to feel bad if you've thought that or believe that myth about our school. My only purpose in addressing it right now is to give you the facts to help set the record straight on this myth. First, and I believe most importantly for all of us to understand, is that because our tuition does not cover our expenses, everyone gets financial aid. Let me say that again. 100% of the students and the families attending Jackson Christian School get financial assistance because we do not charge what it costs for your children's education. Well, then you might ask, who besides me is paying for my children's education? Well, without getting into the great detail here, let me just list off who makes up the differences between what we charge parents for tuition and what it costs to educate children. For instance, we have many donors who have a heart for Christian education, many of whom give sacrificially to support the operating costs of this school. And we're so very thankful for them. Cascades Baptist Church. Many of you may not realize this, but Cascades Baptist provides a significant check to the school's operating budget each and every month. It's something that they don't have to do, but they've chosen to do it for a number of years now. And we're so very thankful to the pastors and the congregation for their sacrificial giving. The resale stores. Encore provided us significant and regular dollars for financial aid. Simply stated, without that store, we would not have a meaningful financial aid system today for our families. And I'm so thankful for that store and now the new resale depot. And finally, our teachers. They provide financial aid as well. Each time they are paid, they sign over an unwritten check back to the school in the amount that they could be making somewhere else. By their sacrifice of a competitive salary, many making less than 50% of what they could make someplace else, they assist in funding financial aid for 100% of the children attending this school. Now that we've discussed who is paying for everyone's financial aid, let me tell you about our needs-based financial aid system for those who have a demonstrated need. This year we have 162 students receiving needs-based financial aid. That's need-based, meaning that an independent and outside company has verified the income and expenses of these families in order to assess the credibility of their request for help. Well, who are these kids? Are they getting into trouble and are they pulling us down? No, they're not. While I cannot tell you exactly who they are because that's confidential, I can tell you this. The 162 kids receiving financial aid this year represents about 50% of our school's enrollment. That's 1 out of every 2 kids you see in our school walking our hallways and sitting in our classrooms. That also means about half the families watching this Parents Press video are receiving some sort of needs-based financial aid. And that's okay. We are all the same JCS family, and financial aid does not need to be a distinguishing difference. Students receiving financial aid are no different than any other student. All of our band students sit next to each other working together to earn first rankings at district and state festivals. All of our choir students stand next to each other, singing their hearts out during performances. On the soccer field and basketball courts, all of our athletes, boys and girls together, working with each other to score goals and making points. Our kids at the elementary here slide down the hill at the elementary together, swing on the swings together. The children receiving this needs-based financial aid are no different from anyone else. In the end, children receiving needs-based financial aid don't change us. They are us. We are all together in this school. You know, I've heard this myth many times over the last few years. This myth results in rumors and gossiping, which is mean and very hurtful to other people. And there's just no other way to say that. There's no basis to the myth that financial aid is destroying our school. If you have questions about this, you know, I always welcome you to come and talk to me. Come and see me. And we can spend some time talking more about this one-on-one if you'd like. I really do welcome your feedback. Okay, I know this has gone on a little longer than normal. Thanks for listening. God bless.